Congressman, thanks for being here. We're just hours away from Title 42 ending. You've seen the images down at the border right now. What can be done to prevent chaos, or is it too late?
Well, we're about to experience one of the largest surges in migrants coming to the border, seeking political asylum, wanting admission to this country. All of these things need to be addressed multilaterally with some of the sending countries in Latin America. We need to revisit our policy and address the root causes of what's driving people to come to the U.S. Remember, this is about 20% of the world's migrants that are in movement. This can be managed, but we need to address the root causes, and we need to collaborate with other countries. This is not the end of the world. This can be managed, but at the heart of what's going on here is protecting people's rights to seek asylum. It is a human right. The president has said that we need to restore the soul of America. Immigrants are a part of that nation. We're a nation of immigrants, and that's what's on the line here. We should not succumb to fear and fear-mongering, especially on the part of Republicans and right-wingers in this country. This is manageable. This is an important lesson that we need to incorporate. But remember that the right to seek asylum has been a bulwark of our democracy and our freedom in this country.
But something does have to be done, right? The system's not working. It can take years upon years for people to have their day in court, to go through the legal process of immigration. And as I understand it, at least later today, you're expected to vote on a Republican-backed border security bill known as H.R. 2. So that's, of course, dealing with at least the numbers, and it hits on a number of Republican talking points, including resuming construction of a border wall. But it would also fund more Border Patrol jobs. It would develop and upgrade technology at the border, and that's something the Biden administration says is needed. Will you vote for this bill, or could it at least be a starting point, do you think, for bipartisan discussions?
This is one of the most cruel immigration bills ever presented to Congress in modern history. It seeks to continue the building of a border wall. It seeks to continue detention, potentially family separation, etc. This is not a solution. It isn't going anywhere. This can be a part of the debate that is going on, but remember that Republicans in prior bills in the prior Congress voted against increasing the number of immigration judges so that we wouldn't have over 1.2 million cases pending before 500 immigration judges. These are the judges that should decide on petitions for political asylum, whether they should be granted or not. The right to seek asylum doesn't guarantee you asylum. It simply guarantees you due process, or it has in the past. And I am disappointed that the Biden administration is seeking to replace Title 42 with a similar policy that requires people to apply for asylum in another country. That makes it so difficult. And what are we going to do with the big surge at the border? There is a way to manage this orderly, humane, and with compassion. That's what Democrats have stood for. And historically, especially in the last 10 years, Republicans have prevented immigration reform. So the message that we've sent to people all over the hemisphere is that the only way to come here is through other than authorized means.
Respectfully, though, you say there's a way to manage this. What's not being done? What's the way to manage it that could be done?
Well, the immediate way to manage this is to provide the types of resources that people at the border need, that cities that are the recipients of migrants that are being bused and flown into these cities need, like the city of Chicago. That's why I led a letter on the delegation from the Chicago area seeking additional funding from FEMA and from the Department of Homeland Security. This is where we need to provide services. Many nonprofits and governments have already exhausted their budgets. That's the type of humane treatment that this crisis requires at this time. And remember, this is about protecting the ability for political asylees to seek asylum in our country.
I absolutely hear what you're saying and can appreciate your perspective on all of this. I think that the challenge is that there is a logistical barrier right now with how many people are in need of assistance, and there's simply not enough shelter and services in place currently to be able to provide what is needed. Illinois Congressman Chuy Garcia, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate your voice.
Thank you, Anna.